Hello, everybody. This is Becca with Empowering Pumps and Equipment. I'm very excited today to have Chris Spiteri with us. He is from EBARA, and we're going to talk about AHR coming up. And, to kind of kickstart, Chris, why don't you give a brief introduction of yourself?
Yeah, so I'm Chris Spiteri. I'm the National Sales Manager for our OEM side of the business here at Abara. And yeah, just happy to be here today.
Well, I'm excited to pick your brain a little bit and, get the excitement going ahead of AHR. So to get started, why don't you tell me what innovations has Abara introduced to improve pump efficiency and reliability in commercial HVAC applications?
Sure. So I would say, you know, when it comes to efficiency and reliability, we go at great lengths to test our products. Oftentimes, that can include, a million cycle tests for the reliability aspect. But then on the efficiency side, we have one pump in particular that's used often in HVAC applications called our 3U pump. It's a horizontal stainless in-suction centrifugal pump that can achieve up to 80% hydraulic efficiencies. And so that's very important, for energy consumption reasons. And then, of course, just making sure you're getting the most out of your pump and not wasting money.
Yes, all good things. How are your pumping solutions adapting to meet the demands of modern sustainable building designs?
Sure. So, with that in mind, we're working towards an integrated VFD motor solution with our EVMSU and 3U. The EVMSU, I haven't mentioned that yet. That's our vertical multi-stage pump. It's also a popular pump used in HVAC applications. And, that along with our 3U, having the integrated VFD motor solution will bring about IE5 efficiencies where we're currently at IE3. So that'll lower the power consumption, reduce the carbon footprint.
Right. So definitely love hearing about the other pump options that people can check out. Why don't you share some insights about Abara's approach to reducing life cycle costs in your latest pump technologies?
Sure. So, building upon, what I was talking about with the vertical multi-stage, our EVMSU, which stands for EBARA Vertical Multi-Stage, and the U just means for use in the U.S. Um, one great example is the patented technology that's in our vertical multi-stage pumps design, and that is it has what's called the Hurricane impeller, which reduces axial thrust load, which extends motor bearing life, which is another wear item. So that can extend the life cycle of your motor bearings. Also, our mechanical seal, when you change it on sizes 7.5 horsepower and higher, you no longer have to remove the motor, whereas with our competitors, you do. So with our design, it saves time, it reduces HSS&E risk, and decreases the OPEX costs associated with replacing what's the most common wear item in pumps, which is the seal. Another feature would be the patented impeller design that I spoke about. So that increases your return on investment, not only in the pump, but also in the system that they're packaged in. Then also, because we have the reduced axial thrust loads, it allows us to use a premium efficiency NEMA motor, whereas the competition often requires a special motor with oversized thrust bearings to handle the axial thrust loads that their pumps create, which limits your flexibility to only those special motors in the event of a failure. Whereas with the Ebara, you can use any standard NEMA motor with the correct horsepower and frame size. So that decreases downtime and reduces supply chain exposure and risk. And then lastly, our EVMSU pumps with motors less than 50 horsepower do not require an upper thrust bearing. So eliminating another mechanical wear part subject to failure, just adding more peace of mind. And then we have videos on our seal replacement. It's like a 5-minute YouTube video, and Yeah, so we try to make it as easy as possible. But that's how we're reducing life cycle costs with our latest pump technologies.
That's amazing. Thank you for sharing all of those things and definitely really important. And I love the flexibility and all the different options that you have available for your customers.
Absolutely.
So, definitely wanted to ask you in terms of the industry as a whole, but for AHR specifically, why
Mhm.
don't you tell me about what you'll be exhibiting there and, what are you most excited about sharing with attendees?
Yeah, so you know, we've got vertical multi-stage pumps, but we also have our low MPSH vertical multi-stage pump. And what that is used often is going to be in the boiler feed side, where there's not a lot of MPSH available. And so that's a design that we released recently, and that'll be on display. And then we've got our 3U that'll be on display, which is our stainless horizontal end suction. We'll also have our CDU, which is a smaller, uh, threaded suction and discharge that's often used in like chiller applications. And that's also a stainless end suction pump. And then let's see, what else will we have? We'll have, I believe, our sump pumps, which are also stainless, and that's the EPD and Optima. They're continuous duty rated and very reliable, often used in multiple applications in the commercial building side, but also on the data center side for evaporative cooling. And then trying to think what else we'll have. I think those are the main ones, and then we have a new prototype pump that I can't really talk about publicly, but when they're there, they can come by the booth and they can see it. And there's nothing like it on the market currently. And the only thing I will say is it's sealless. So
Ooh, okay, well, I mean, that's a teaser.
yeah,
I'm excited. I'm excited now. So you heard it here. Definitely make sure that you stop by. I mean, see all of the amazing products that EBARA has to exhibit at AHR, but definitely the new one as well that Chris has to say about. And, if people aren't going to AHR, which of course, if you are, make sure you stop by the EBARA booth. But if you aren't going to be at the show, what's the best way for people to get in touch with you and EBARA?
yeah. So the best way would be to go to pumpsabara.com, and there's a deal where you can chat now, and that'll automatically get them in touch with our customer service group. And then alternatively, if they've got some OEM applications that they want us to look at, I'll be there at the booth. But if they're not physically there, they can reach out to me. I'm on LinkedIn. I've got my email, which is cspiteri@pumpsabara.com. And they can always call the office as well.
Wonderful. Well, Chris, thank you so much for your time. I'm very excited to see you at AHR. And yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, Becca.